Let's move to some other issues. Australia will become the first country in the world to force tech giants Google and Facebook to pay for news content. The federal government has ordered the ACCC today to develop a mandatory code. It was originally designed to be voluntary, but they weren't playing balls. They've gone down the mandatory code route to govern the commercial dealings between tech giants and big news media companies like this one, Sky News and News Corp. Being a mandatory code, of course, it'll have the backing of law. The Daily Telegraph's national political editor, John Rolfe, joins me now from Sydney. This has been a long time coming. Lots of promises are made, lots of commitments. It started out, as I said, with a voluntary code on the table, but big decision by the government to today make it mandatory. John, tell us a little bit more about what it's designed to do. What's the remedy?
The aim here, Peter, is to finally bring Google and Facebook to the negotiating table. Since December, the ACCC has been leading discussions between media businesses, News Corporation, Nine, Seven West and others, and Google and Facebook on the other side. And what it reported to the government last Tuesday was that there was no hope of an agreement when it came to paying for content, which is something that both the ACCC and the government think it's high time that these tech titans did. It can hardly come as a surprise to them, Peter, because an inquiry that led to today began in 2017. This has been going on a long time. And before that, of course, companies such as News Corp, Nine and others have been struggling financially because Google and Facebook have ripped about $5 billion away in revenue, but not sent a single reporter to a court or a local council, and that's left the community worse off. Josh Frydenberg has realised that they're not going to do the right thing through a voluntary code, so a mandatory code is going to be imposed upon them.
Yeah, just so people at home understand that the news organisations like this organisation, Channel 9, indeed even an ABC, has costs incurred to put the news out there every single day, whether it's print, television or radio. These big tech giants, global bodies that pay bugger all tax in Australia, take that content, put it out and drive eyeballs to their product or their distribution platform, if I can call it that. So, yes, they take away eyeballs from people paying for it, perhaps within a subscription to a newspaper, but also they take away a lot of the advertising revenue, that's the banner ads that run down beside this news content. So this is about the survival of Australian news gathering, isn't it, John?
That's totally what's at stake here. And that's why this is so significant, Peter. You're right. Those display ads and classifieds used to be just in the newspapers. I can remember when a Saturday Sydney Morning Herald came in 2 bundles and you could barely carry it home from the paper shop. It was ridiculous. And I'm not talking about, many decades ago. I'm talking about 2006. But those rivers of gold have dried up, and they have instead been redirected to Google and Facebook and their ads. They are intermediating between advertisers and the content producers, journalists like me, and they are starving this industry of the lifeblood required to go out and cover health, science, what's going on in your local community. Facebook doesn't have any journalists. It isn't contributing to democracy and unearthing wrongdoing. It's just taking the dosh.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you very much, John.